Vine's POV. As I stood in front of his office, my voice raised in a heated argument with my husband, the one and only John Jungkook. I couldn't help but feel a sense of desperation wash over me. Our marriage had been going through a lot for months, and it seemed like we were just going through the motions. You are always so cold, Jeon Jungkook. Her eyes were blazing with anger. He looked at her, talking. You never listen to me. You never care about my feelings. I'm just a trophy to you, a property to be shown off at your office parties like this. His expression didn't change, but Vine could see a flicker of annoyance in his eyes. You are being dramatic, Vine, he said in his low and even voice. I provide for you. I give you everything you could possibly want. What more do you expect from me? Vine felt a surge of rage at his words. You think that's all I want from you? You think that's just because you give me a big house and expensive jewelry? That's enough? It's not about the material things, Jungkook. It's about the connection, the love, the passion. And you are not even trying to give me those things. Jungkook raised an eyebrow. I'm not sure what are you talking about, Vine. We have a good life together. We are comfortable. We are secure. What more could you want? Vine felt like she was going to explode. You really don't get it, do you? Her voice was shaking with anger. You really don't understand what it means to be in a relationship, to be in love. It's not about being comfortable and secure, Jungkook. It's about being alive, being happy, being fulfilled. And I'm not getting any of those things from you. You are always so busy with your work in office. As she finished speaking, Jungkook took a step closer to his eyes locked onto her. Maybe that's because you are not looking in the right place. His voice low and husky. Maybe you are not feeling the passion and connection you crave because you are not letting me give it to you. I felt a shiver run down my spine as he spoke, his words sending a spark of electricity through my body. For a moment, I forgot about our argument, forgot about the coldness that had been growing between us. All I could think about was the way his eyes seemed to bore into my soul, the way his voice made me feel like I was the only person in the world. But as quickly as the moment had come, it was gone. His expression returned to its usual cold, distant mask, and I was left feeling frustrated and confused. As the room around me began to spin, I felt a wave of dizziness wash over me, and suddenly I fainted into his arms. Wine, open your eyes. Can you hear me? Open your eyes. He splashed cold water onto her face. As I came to, I was aware of his strong arms holding me, his chest pressed against mine. All I could think about was the warmth of his body, the way his eyes crinkled at the corners as he looked at me with concern. Wine, are you okay? He asked, his voice low and gentle. Wine nodded, but she was still feeling a little bit dizzy. Yes, I am fine, she stuttered. He helped me to the car and I sat down, feeling a little bit embarrassed. As I looked up to him, I saw something in his eyes that I hadn't seen him in for a long time. A spark of warmth, of caring, but it disappeared when he saw me looking at him. I think we should get you home, he said, his voice formal once again. You are clearly not feeling well, Vine. Vine's POV. I nodded, feeling a pang of sadness. Just maybe things could go back to the way they used to be between us. But now I realized that it was just a foolish dream. As we left the office and made our way to our home, his hand brushed against mine, sending a spark of electricity through my body. I felt a flutter in my chest, and for a moment, Jungkook, her voice was barely above a whisper. Yes, he replied, and his eyes locked onto hers. She felt a shiver run down her spine as he looked at her, his eyes burning with intensity. I. I started to say, but her voice trailed off. Jungkook raised an eyebrow. You what? He asked in his low and husky voice. I felt a flush rise to my cheeks as I looked up to him, my heart pounding in my chest. I don't know, I said finally, feeling a sense of frustration wash over me. I just feel like we are so disconnected, Jungkook. Like we are just going through the motions of being married, but we are not really connecting on any level. His expression didn't change, but I could see a flicker of something in his eyes. It was a small spark of emotion, but it was enough to give me hope. I know what you mean. His voice was low and rough. I have been feeling it too, Vine, but I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to make things right between us. I felt a pang of sadness at his words. It was clear that he was struggling, that he was trying to find a way to reconnect with me, but it was also clear that he didn't know how. As we drove home in silence, I couldn't help but feel a sense of despair wash over me. It seemed like no matter how hard we tried, we just couldn't seem to connect on any level. But as we pulled into the driveway, he turned to me and said something that made my heart skip a beat. Fine, I want to try again. I want to try to make things right between us. Wine felt a surge of hope at his words, and she turned to him with a sense of excitement. Really? She asked with a voice barely above a whisper. Jungkook nodded, his eyes locked on mine. Yes, I want to try again. I want to see if we can reconnect, if we can find our way back to each other. She felt a sense of joy wash over her at his words, and she leaned over to kiss him. Me too, Jungkook. As their lips touched, Vine felt a spark of electricity run through her body. It was a feeling that she hadn't experienced in a long time, and it caught her off guard. Jungkook's arms wrapped around her, pulling her closer as they deepened the kiss. She felt like she was melting into him. Their bodies were becoming one. As they broke apart for air, Jungkook looked at her with an intensity that made her heart skip a beat. I have missed you. I have missed this. I have missed you too. Jungkook's eyes locked onto hers, and she could see the desire burning in them. Let's go inside. Let's see if we can rekindle what once we had. She nodded, feeling a sense of excitement wash over her. As they walked into the house, Jungkook's arms wrapped around her waist, pulling her close. She felt like she was home, like she was exactly where she meant to be. They walked upstairs, their bodies pressed together, their lips locked in a passionate kiss. As they reached the bedroom, Jungkook pushed her gently onto the bed, his body following hers. They made love, their bodies moving in perfect sync. It was like no time had passed at all. As they lay together afterwards, their bodies intertwined. Pine felt a sense of happiness wash over her. Thank you. Jungkook looked at her, his eyes filled with emotion. For what? For trying again, for giving us another chance. Jungkook smiled. I will always try again. I will always fight for us. Sorry if I made you think you are not enough for my love. No need to be sorry. And I will fight for us too. Jungkook's arms wrapped around her, pulling her close. Then we will be okay, he chuckled. We will make it through anything as long as we have each other. As they lay there wrapped in each other's arms, Wine felt a sense of peace wash over her. It was like the world outside their bedroom door has melted away, and all that mattered was the two of them. I'm sorry too. I'm sorry for not communicating with you, for not telling you how I felt. I promise to do better too, to be more open and honest with you. Jungkook's face lit up with a smile, and he leaned in to kiss Wine again. It was a soft, gentle kiss, but it sent shivers down her spine. As they broke apart for air, Jungkook looked at her with a serious expression. I want to make a promise to you. I want to promise that I will always be here for you, and I will always listen to you and support you. Can I make that promise to you? Wine nodded, feeling a lump form in her throat. Yes, you can make that promise to me. Jungkook's face lit up with a smile, and he pulled her waist to kiss her again. This time, the kiss was deeper, more passionate, and it was a kiss that spoke of promises and commitments of love that would last a lifetime. Oh, I can't stop kissing you. Vine smiled and looked at him with tears in her eyes. I love you. He lifted her chin up and wiped her tears and pressed his lips onto hers. I love you too. I always have and I always will.